Okay, so welcome back. Hopefully you subscribed and liked and did all that bell stuff. So we've got a movie that kind of goes with Joe Biden last year or the year before. It kind of fits. It's almost the same thing except for this was the outbreak that really happened in real life, similar to what the movie talks about. Is happened in China, which they didn't do any containment like this one. This was based in California, and there was another town. This has got Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman, and I can't remember what her name is. See if I can get her name. William Hawley? No, that's not. That's the editor. Reno Rosso. Anyway, Jordan Gooden. Anyway, so I just mumbled something there. I'll probably end up having to cut it out, but I didn't. So anyway, Dustin Hoffman is a virologist in this movie, and the ex-wife or the girlfriend is a virologist too. She ends up taking a position at the CDC, and he ends up staying with the U.S. Army, which is a pretty good movie. Pretty good way to do it. So they end up with an outbreak in this small town. I don't even know where it's at, but they fly out to check this thing out, and turns out some guy on a ship catches the monkey in Africa or wherever its home is, and transports it to the Africa, transports it to the U.S. to sell it so somebody can have an exotic pet. They do that with birds too. Then it turns out this, the virus they're talking about in this thing, they tried to cover it up twice, they showed, because they burned down a whole military camp, military soldiers and everything. They fired it up so they didn't have to expose that they had this virus, this Motaba virus that they had, and they burnt something else up because of it, and they were going to do this to the town. So Motaba got into this little town because a guy transferred a monkey from Africa to a pet store in the States. The pet store guy didn't take it. The guy that transported and the pet store guy got caught in Motaba, which is their first cases, which is in that little town where they quarantine and all that. So it turns out that Dustin Hoffman gets himself on the case, and he gets there to see if he can do anything. They dress up in the big orange suits that have the hose you plug into it, the big airline, like a compressor hose. And they run around trying to figure out how to stop this virus, try to figure it out, because the U.S. Army's not giving them the antivirus that they have made from the last time when they burnt a camp of soldiers down. They did testing on animals in the history of the lab and all that. They were testing this, the new virus. They were trying to make a virus from the Motaba virus in this thing, which the panic that they would assume would be about the same as what they try to do in China with the other virus that we've been talking about. Well, the problem, this movie compares pretty close to what they did in China. So they try to figure it out for a while, and his ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, whatever she was, shows up, and they're working it together, and in this quarantine town, and they're getting everybody herded into their houses, and if they feel sick, they're taking them to the hospital or hospital towns. They're not letting anybody get out. They chase down a pickup truck with a flying tank, I'd call it, helicopter, a fully armored helicopter. So they're doing for first half of the movie, they're trying to figure out. Then Dustin Hoffman and Gordon Jr. He ends up running around with the helicopter, flying the helicopter. They're getting chased. They're running around looking for it. They stop at a news station looking for this animal. They figure out what kind of animal it is eventually, and they end up looking around, and then a mother and a daughter find it in the forest just outside of California because the guy who brought it over couldn't sell it, so he just released it into the wild in California, which happens a lot too. People get them odd exotic pets, and then after a while they get too big or they don't want them and nobody else will take them, so they just release them. So he got a small armored helicopter. It had missiles on the sides, and they run around getting chased by two bigger helicopters. Then they end up catching the monkey towards the end, and it turns out to be a pretty fun movie, and then they save the day, and everybody survives that didn't already die, and it's a happily ever after type of thing. Make sure I did this, because I don't know if I did this. Got to have the picture for editing, or the poster for editing. Don't want to have to bring this back up, so when I go to edit, I can put the poster up where it's supposed to be, right there. You should be seeing it there anyway. So this was a Warner Brothers. Oh, yeah. Towards the end, they were going to blow a hydrogen bomb over the city to burn everybody up. So they had a big tense moment with the helicopter in front of the airplane, and then when they did release over target, they missed the target and exploded it over water. Then they had a big old fight amongst in the general's tents, or in the commander's tent, and it turned out that he won. They won, and they ended up going and taking the virus, making an antivirus for the new strain, and then everybody that was still alive got the antivirus and survived. Happily ever after type movie. It was actually kind of a tense moments there. It reminds you real quickly of what we just went through, or what we were going through with our pandemic. I wonder what would happen if we got something like that released. Who would be scared and who wouldn't? I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to have some fun, and yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys. Anyway, so we're going to have some fun, and we'll talk to you on the next video. And oh, did I go through that? No, I didn't go through that. If I did, I'll do it again. It was a Warner Brothers film. It released in the release date was March 10th, 1995 in the United States. Just one release date, which is nice. Runtime was 128 minutes. It's the United States. It was made in the United States. Country of origin was United States. It's English. The budget was $50 million on this thing, and they spent. They got it at the box office $189.2 million. So this sucker was a pretty good movie there. For me, it's a five-star rating movie. They did a pretty good job with it, and Dustin Hoffman is a good movie, and Morgan Freeman, I like his movies too. I got lots of those. So anyway, hopefully you come back for more and subscribe and liked, and either way, we'll see you tomorrow or next week, depending upon which channel you're watching this on. So we'll talk to you later. Bye now.